Hello! Thanks for joining me, and thanks for catching the replay. Let's see. Oh, we have one person live. It is 9 p.m. on Sunday. Thanks for joining, whoever you are. I can't tell who you are, and I don't want to hit the screen. Anyway, thanks for joining. For those of you who do not know me, my name's Krista. I am public health. Hi, Angela. Where are you from? I am a public health researcher in New York City and a fine artist. And yeah, so thanks for joining me tonight. This is our second Sunday night, 9 p.m. creative combo. I'm not sure. Oh, hi, you're from Denver. It's earlier over there, yes? I'm curious, how did you find me? For those of you who joined last week, I'm going to stop saying because a good friend of mine says I should stop saying that. If you joined last week, you know that I shared a little bit about my story, quitting my day job so that I can fully engage and lean into my art practice and build my art business and really create work, be it art-related work, public health work, that focuses on inspiring and instigating change, particularly change that involves advancing racial equity, social justice. So that's a little bit about me and what I'm trying to do. So check the video for last week if you want to hear. Oh, hi! Yes, we're in the same group. I love that group. So check the video from last week if you want to hear a little bit about the 5 tips that I suggest you consider if you are thinking of leaving your day job. Just some planning, some strategizing, some tips for thinking through the process before you make the leap, because you should think about it before you do it. So today I'm not going to hang out here too long, mainly because I'm in the middle of making collages, actually. I'm just working on this one tonight. I'm in the middle of working on a couple things this evening, so I'm not going to hang out too long. But there's just one thing that's been kind of in my mind and rolling around in my spirit all day, and it's this idea of your words giving weight to your situation and meaning to your situation. Basically, a thing, an event, a situation can be whatever you call it. It can be whatever you decide it's going to be. You give it meaning. You give it power. You give it influence. Whatever you decide it is, that's what it is. So let me give you an example. Before I went away on vacation, I had a month-long vacation this past June. I spent half of the time in Greece, and when I got back on the job, everybody was sort of like, oh my God, you came back. I love my colleagues. But I came back and I was just in a completely different state than when I had left. Before I left, I was burnt out. I was like cranky. I was probably not the nicest person to work with, and really frustrated and complaining all the time to my best friend, to others, just about how sort of stressed out things were at the office, stressed out about a lot of things. And when I got back from Greece, my perspective has shifted. I said, I'm not going to sort of let certain situations stress me out. And I didn't come to this sort of conclusion by myself. I had a lot of sort of people talking to me, namely my best friend, who's also a therapist. But she sort of says more often than not, basically your words give meaning to your situation. It can mean whatever you want it to mean. So if work is a stressed out place for you, that's what work will be, because you keep calling it that. You keep saying that you're overwhelmed, things are stressful, things are confusing or disorganized, you're feeling undervalued, those things, and you just keep speaking the same thing over and over. So as a result of you thinking those things and speaking those things, that's what the situation is going to present. That's all you're going to be able to see the situation for. But when I got back from Greece, I just had this different sense of calm and peace. Basically, I said, there are more important things in life than the work that you do at your day job. Now, some people are blessed to be in positions where they're doing incredibly meaningful, enriching work every single day, day in and day out. While my work was meaningful, I wasn't doing it in a way that at this point in my life made the most sense. So there were some things frustrating me. But when I got back from Greece, I was just like, I just don't need the stress, and I don't want the stress. So I need to find the good in this situation, and I need to find what I need to learn in this situation. Because a lot of times things get really challenging, difficult, rough, especially when you're in relationship, and we're all in relationships, whether at work or home or whatever. When things start to get really rough, I feel like the situation is reflecting you, and it's something that you need to learn from it. So I started to think about, okay, what are the things that really drive me absolutely insane about my relationship, my relationships at work, my working conditions. And I started to sort of pick that apart and realize that there were some things in me that it was much more a reflection of me than it was of the actual situation. So I just started to reframe how I saw the situation, and more importantly, I just stopped being so negative about it and stopped saying, stop describing what was happening as overwhelming or challenging or disorganized, and simply gave myself and the folks that I work with a little bit more grace and said, perhaps people are doing the best that they can with what they have, and that is enough. And I don't need to internalize or make this into something that it's not. And the minute you start to let go of those negative feelings, that's when I started to realize, or just tap back into the good of what it meant to work with the incredible people that I work with. And it just made me feel better. So I say all that to say, if you are currently thinking about your day job, thinking about making a leap, making a change, and you're in this space of complaining, in this state of overwhelm, in this state of, oh my God, I don't know what to do, just committed to confusion, take a minute, acknowledge that, and then try to reframe your situation and think something else. I just got off the phone with my boyfriend, and I told him, I said, I have a lot of stuff that I need to figure out. I have 2 more weeks left on the job. I'm trying to shore up some of my consulting clients just so that I have work immediately following, or not immediately, but within the few weeks or so after leaving my day job. And I was like, it's a lot. And his response to me was surprising. He said, but it's so exciting. And I said, exciting? I was feeling overwhelmed a little bit. He was like, but it's so exciting. And I said, you are absolutely right. He was like, this is what you've been waiting for, and it's so exciting. And it was just a reminder for me that even though I have a lot of planning to do, a lot of strategizing to do, a lot of connections to make, that if I can just stay in this place of, this is a really exciting time, what I'm embarking on is really exciting and something that I've been waiting for, then 1, it'll just make me feel better. 2, my mind clears up so that all the good ideas, all the plans, all the resources become clearer to me. And I was just so grateful for what he just said to me. And I was just like, right, it's all about what you think and then what you say about your situation that can really dictate, how it turns out. You can call it whatever you want to call it. So I'm at this place this evening, and I'm I'm just so grateful that I can look at the next couple weeks and be like, okay, this is exciting. I am planning to pursue art professionally, and I'm planning to do public health work in a way that is more satisfying for me. And again, that's not a sort of indictment on my current work situation. It's simply I want to practice public health in a way that is going to support my creative practice. But it's just so exciting. So that's the word that I'm going to choose this week. I'm not going to choose overwhelm. I'm not going to choose confusing. I'm not going to choose difficult. I'm not going to choose, oh my gosh, even though not once have I regretted my decision to quit my job. But I am going to choose exciting. So, and I encourage you to do the same. So whatever stressful situation you got going on, whether at work or home or whatever, stop calling it stressful or confusing or overwhelming, and simply call it what you want it to be. If you want it to be peaceful, if you want it to be calm, if you want it to be, oh, this is a situation where I am actively looking for a solution, or I'm actively looking for calm, or I'm actively looking for peace or connection or conclusion. Call it what you want it to be, and don't repeat the same sort of negative sort of descriptives, because it sucks away from the opportunity for you to find a solution, to find peace in it. So, okay, I think I said a lot, and I gotta stop doing that. I gotta stop doing that and breathe, as my friend says. So yeah, that's where I am right now. Every week is probably gonna be different. I think when you decide to make a leap like the one that I've made, you will have all the feelings. And I'm just so grateful that I have people around me reminding me that this is exciting. And I'm fine. Yes, I am fine. So hopefully that is encouraging to you as well. Decide what you want whatever situations you're facing to mean, and decide what you want them to be and call it that. And keep calling it that, even if it doesn't look that way. Just keep calling it that. I truly, truly believe that life and death is in the tongue, and whatever you decide to call a thing, that's what it's going to be. So, yep, I think that's it. That's what I'm focusing on this week. I have exciting, exciting work ahead of me. And so what else is going on with the rest of you? Hi, Morgan. Oh, I'm so glad that it is, LaShonda. A lot of times and it goes back to what you said last week and what other people were sharing last week. When folks decide to quit their job, or just even thinking about it, we make it this big, large thing as if it's this insurmountable mountain, when in actuality, you just have to think it through. It's not impossible. It's not something that people haven't done since before people had jobs. But if you can take a minute and really think about what it would mean and what you would need to do in order to make it happen, it's probably not that daunting, right? So if you say, oh, if I quit my job, it's just going to be so hard to make ends meet. It's going to be so challenging. It's going to be so, what am I going to do? I'm so confused. If you go in it with that energy, then it's never going to happen. But if you say, you know what? This is an adventure. This is going to be exciting. Yes, it's going to be hard work. There are going to be some long hours, but I'm built for it. I can do it. There are resources available. I'm connected to. One of the things that didn't surprise me, but I'm so grateful for, is that the minute I started speaking, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I've left my job, gave my notice. I'm pursuing my art professionally. I'm doing these things. I mean, people were just immediately like, oh, I need to connect you to this person. Oh, I need to link you up with this person. Oh, you need to meet so-and-so. And just out of nowhere, people are connecting me to all sorts of people and resources. And I think that has everything to do with the way that I describe what I'm doing. Like, I'm not lamenting about leaving my job. I'm excited, and hopefully I give off that enthusiasm and excitement. But when you do that, people will run to help. I believe that. I believe that that quote that's in The Alchemist. I'll post it in the video when I post this video, where he writes about the universe conspiring for you, right? So when you decide you want something, everything will come together. But it's all about how you speak about it. So I encourage you to choose your words wisely this week. And even when you describe the thing in words that aren't helpful, i.e. confusing, difficult, annoying, take a minute and then try to reframe the situation. What can I learn from this situation? Why is this bothering me in the first place? Why am I annoyed? What is this situation trying to show me about me? Okay, I'll take that. And then now how can I move towards a space of peace and sort of clarity in this situation? And see it as a challenge. Challenge is not a bad word. It can be a good thing. But don't continue to sort of roll around in the negativity and complaining. Complaining is the quickest thing to sort of sap all your energy out of anything. And you can't find solutions when you complain. Trust me. I know. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. So no more complaining. Decide what you want it to be, and then speak it out loud. And that's it. So that is all I have, unless anybody has questions for me. Thank you for the thumbs up. I still really need to figure out what all those things mean. I have yet to watch any Facebook Live videos for real. So I will do better this week. Anything else happening? Any questions I can answer? Anything you want to know? I tried to answer the questions from last week. How has your week been this far? This week at work was a little, it was not what I expected. And the funny thing is that something happened that I immediately sort of had a bad reaction to. I was peaceful and calm about it, but I really had a not so good reaction to. And then I took a minute or several minutes, and then I realized that in the long run, it was the best thing that could have happened, because it freed me up to really be able to use the last 2 weeks that I have at my job in a different way, in a way that I hadn't anticipated. Like I had anticipated sort of meeting and working very closely with my team up until the very end, but some changes have happened where I'm transitioning things faster than I thought I would to the person that will be replacing me. So that frees me up, because I want to give this person space to sort of start getting to know the team, etc. So yeah, that worked out well for me in the end. So I'm grateful for that, because I get to now have my last 2 weeks be something different. And I get to be even more present with all of my colleagues over the next 2 weeks, and just because I'll have more time. So, and then as on the planning end, things are going really well with my consultancy that I'm setting up to help sort of offset some of my expenses while I pursue my artwork. I don't want to put too much pressure on my art to support me at the early stages. I just want to make work, show work, get in community with other artists and creatives. And then as far as making money, I can continue using my public health skills to work with different organizations, and specifically in the areas of research and evaluation. So that is coming along really well. Oh, and then on the art front, I had a wonderful Friday at this it's an interesting residency these four black women put together. They're both artists and curators, and they put together this month-long residency at this space in Soho called Black Art Incubator. You can find them on Instagram, but they had a bunch of workshops and opportunities for creatives to come together and get resources. So I went on Friday, and it's something called office hours. So they had a curator come and speak to us for about 15 minutes each. We had individual sessions, and I met this wonderful curator. She works at the Brooklyn Museum, and she's an assistant curator for the contemporary art section. Her name is Ruheko, and she was just very, very kind and answered a lot of my questions about where do I start as far as really advancing my art practice and connection to the art community. So she gave me a lot of good tips. One of the things she said, and if there's anybody out there in Facebook land who can help a sister out, she said that I should probably consider interning with an artist. So I think I'm going to start thinking about that and just sort of putting it out there and see what's possible. Finding, some professional artist who's more experienced and sort of has been actively working in their practice that I can learn from and work for. So I'm going to look into that and see how that goes. But it was just nice to connect with the women at Black Art Incubator, and I'm looking forward to connecting with them even post this residency, which was really, really nice. So the art community is very generous. That's what I'm saying to myself. Thank you, Angela. Angela, are you a full-time artist, professional artist, or full-time-ish? Hi, Nana. Thanks for joining. Yes. Yes, LaShonda said, sounds as if planning and preparation helped overcome the fear of quitting. You're definitely encouraging me to do the same. Yes, planning and preparation, and then I like to add another P in there for me personally, prayer. A lot of prayer. Those things go hand in hand. But yes, I don't think you should jump into something like this lightly. And you really have to consider your personal circumstances. Like I said last week, I don't have any small kids to feed. My daughter is 22 years old, and she is traveling the world right now, literally. She is taking care of herself. So, I don't have to think about certain things in the ways that I did previously. And I feel like this is a window where I can take the greatest risk right now, and who knows, we'll see what a year from now brings. Okay, I have no idea what time it is, but I am itching to get back to my scissors and glue and paper and see what the night brings. And if you want to hear about or have any questions at all, I'm part-time, used to live in New York City too. That incubator sounds amazing. I have to look for something like that in Denver. Yes, so it was really interesting, Angela. Look them up on Instagram. It's called Black Art Incubator. And it was at this place, this gallery called Recess. The gallery basically extends month-long residencies to artists and curators to do whatever they want to this space. It's just like a blank canvas. It's a nice, smallish square box, basically. And these ladies came together and said, hey, let's create community specifically for artists of color. So they had everything from workshops on like grants and residencies, marketing and networking, just your art practice in general. They had office hours where they would invite artists and curators to come, and each person could sign up for like a 15-minute slot, 20-minute slot. They had yoga and meditation also to incorporate wellness. And then they have, you can go online and find them, or Google Black Arts Incubator. They have like a resources tab where they've compiled a lot of the resources there that you can take advantage of. So definitely check them out, and perhaps you could do something similar in Denver yourself and get a couple other artists together. And their whole thing was to create an exhibit that was interactive. So this month-long residency, and every single thing in their sort of events calendar was what was the actual art that they were creating. So it was like this art that you actively engage with and have people move in and out of the space. So it was dope. You should. I think it's a great idea, and I like that it was a month-long thing, and they really added value. They had things to do throughout the day, on the weekend. So it was really, we need more spaces like that all over the place. People just need more community. So check them out. Okay. All right, guys. I know I said this like 30 times, but if you have any questions, you can leave them below the video. I go back when I post it and I'll answer questions. I will also write a couple blog posts this week, just summarizing what I shared last week, the 5 tips, plus what I shared this week in a much more coherent kind of way. And then I'll be back next Sunday. I'm going to do a better job with posting the topic ahead of time, just so that you know and you can expect it. But I think I'm going to hang out here on Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. You can email me at krista@kristadavid.com, and I will respond to you. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in. Please, oh yes, I will keep sharing what I'm learning, Angela. You'll see me in the Emily's Facebook group, and then I'll also be here. I think it's important to be honest about what it means to pursue art professionally, and what it just means to be a creative in general, and how to merge. In my case, I'm trying to merge my 2 practices, public health and my art, and I'm excited to see what that looks like. Hopefully others are excited to see what that looks like. So I'll keep sharing. And yes, so please share the video if you think there are other people who could benefit from hearing what I'm sharing. I would appreciate that. And then you can find me online at kristadavid.com. That's where I live, pretty much. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later, and have a wonderful evening, and make it a marvelous Monday. Don't talk bad about Monday, because then it'll suck. Okay? All right. Bye. Do I turn? Oh, I hit finish.